Welcome back to GoldSeek TV, where we're talking about silver exploration up in the Yukon today. It's a pleasure to have the president and CEO of Silver North Resources, Jason Weber. Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure, Peter. Always good to be on with you.
Love catching up with you because about a year ago we were talking about your 2025 exploration season and the hopes you had going into that season and expanding some of the high grade results. Your results are now fully back for that season, so I'd love to review what results came back and how do the final results look like to you.
Well, to be frank, we hit our best hole ever on the property, our very first hole of the season last year. So that was obviously when you get that kind of results, it was 818 grams silver over was it 13.15 meters? So a really nice high grade intersection, and then we were able to follow up along strike and down dip a little bit. Obviously, that big hole we hit was 90 meters down dip from the 2024 drilling, so that
Mm.
was a bigger step out than we had planned. The hole deviated steeper than what we had expected it would. So a nice big step out worked out great, but we also worked out at building out along strike on this target as well, and we were able to expand it 50 meters on either side of the discovery section. So we have it over 100 meters now. And just as a reminder, on surface, we have a couple showings on surface that are roughly 180, 200 meters apart. So it kind of gives us an idea of kind of minimum widths we have to deal with. You never know what goes on at depth with these, but and then the interesting part was we moved over another 50 meters down to the southwest, actually hit the zone. But we lost the hole in the structure. And so we weren't able to recover any of the core, but the drillers were like, "Yeah, we're getting into the structure. We can tell just by the way the drilling goes." And the core barrel was stuck down the hole, so we weren't able to recover the core, and we ended up actually having to terminate that hole. So we hit the zone in every hole, but we were only able to sample 7 of the 8. But a really successful season for us. Really gives us a few indicators that we kind of tie in with some of the other systems. Like these tend to be steeply dipping zones. In our case, they look to dip off to the southwest, and this main fault seems to do the same thing. So that kind of guides our planning for the 2026 program in following up.
Okay, and so 2026 season in the Keno Hill District is for exploration work must be getting pretty close. So how does it look? What kind of work are you doing to prepare for the season, and are you getting close to defining some of the drill targets?
Yeah, so I think we've got in the neighborhood of 20 holes laid out right now that would, again, continuing on this theme of stepping out along strike and down dip with a focus on down dip to the southwest. The We don't want to just solely chase that because these things can be, a little erratic. There's and not so much erratic, but there's other structures that can come into play, and they can balloon out other directions as well. But we're actually our field season started already. We started an airborne survey last week, so that's fantastic because that kind of data just feeds into our model that we have right now, and we can use that to probably not at main fault. We're probably not changing much in the where drill holes are, but perhaps maybe the order that we drill them based on that data.
Okay.
Uh,
Mhm.
where we hope it really helps us is some of our other targets, just helping identify structure that is going to um, have some, prospectivity to it that we wouldn't otherwise see. One of the challenges we have at Haldane in the Keno District in general is, these veins don't always express themselves on surface very strongly or clearly. So the geophysics really helps us kind of combine what we see on surface with what we've seen in drilling, and then we can kind of expand that to say, okay, this might be a really good target over here. So for example, our Bighorn Fault, which is one of our targets that we dearly want to get tested this year. Um, we've got one drill hole into it. We've got some soil geochem. We've got a structure that we've hit in trenching. Now with the geophysics overlaying on that, hopefully that just gives us some more clarity on what that structure is, the overall size of it, and maybe just maybe there's something in the geophysics that helps us define, okay, this part of the structure actually looks better. Let's focus over there for these next set of drill holes there.
So did you say the total whole amount of drilling for this season appears to be about 20 drill holes, about three times as
Yeah,
many as last season?
yeah, it'll be a little bit dependent on how deep our holes go. We're kind of budgeting between 5 and 7,000 meters, and that's quite a range. People say, "Well, you guys don't know what you're doing if you got a 2,000 meter range on that." But really, what it comes down to for us is we will have two drills on site this year. It's the first time we've been able to have two rigs on site, and that will we think will add a fair bit of efficiency to our program that I think is going to let us get more drilling done than we have per dollar in years past. So that's why we give the kind of the minimum sort of 5,000 meters, 5,500 meters, somewhere in that range. But we're hoping to get closer to 7,000 meters out of it. Just with the efficiency of having two drills on site, and the support camp for that doesn't double. It's not twice
Yeah,
as big as it was for one drill.
expensive.
So
Yeah.
so we,
Okay.
we're really quite and we have our prime contractor in there this year who drilled 2 years ago for us, did a fantastic job. They know these rocks. They've drilled at Keno a lot at the mine or mines in the
Oh,
district.
yeah.
So having them, I think, is also a really big help for us as well.
And the company is very well funded. You did some rounds of financing for the last year, so you're well funded for this season and appears even potentially into next season.
Yeah, and it's funny when you look back at these, you kind of pick out key points in a company's history, good or bad, right? And you can look at it and say, what was one of the really most important things that could have contributed to the success or failure even of a company. And for me, I can't help but think back to December when we did a smaller, just over $2 million financing flow through right at the end of the year. There were some funds that we knew that had flow through that they had to place by year end, and we were able to get a few $1 million into the treasury early. But that allowed us to go and actually get that drill contractor
Oh,
who
nice.
2 months later, when we did our bigger financing of 11.6 in that closed in February, if we didn't have that 2 million in hand right away, we couldn't have gone to the contractor and said, "Hey, look, we're going to have a big program, full summer. We're starting in June as early as we can go." And they were like, "Well, it's good you're coming to us now because this year's going to be really busy. Drills are, and crews, even more importantly, are going to be
Mm.
in short supply. Um, we can sign up now." And then when we added on the 11.6 million financing in February, what that allowed us to do is sign a 2 year contract. So we actually have the
Oh,
drills
nice.
on site for 2 years, saves on mob costs, but most importantly, I think costs are really going to go up next year just because of demand, and we've got a fixed price increase in there that I think will be significantly less than what costs go up for the following
Mm.
year. So in the end, what it means for us is right now we have 2 years of treasury for drilling at Haldane right now. So it's set us up
Excellent.
quite well. And that 2 million in December was, I think, a real key piece of the puzzle for us.
Mm. Oh, that's interesting insight. Recall a year ago, the market cap was about 5 million or less. Company was really struggling, and its silver price obviously too wasn't helping out. Now we've got a much more favorable environment, so things have really come well, favorable for silver exploration companies, and also the Yukon, and the Keno Hill District is quite exciting. Like you said, a lot of activity going on. So
Yeah.
you have a lot of great support and neighbors there as well with Hecla and Banyan Gold and so on. So I imagine that's also helping um, bring more investment into Silver North resources and so on.
For sure. Like if you talk to somebody about Keno Hill and they may or may not have heard of Silver North, but if they're a silver investor, they've definitely heard of Hecla. So when you talk about our project in the context of, we're exploring for the exact same style of mineralization that Hekla's mining on at Keno Hill, and that resonates with people, and I think that has really caught on. The other part of it for us is Hekla's been such a great neighbor in that they've really been proactive in sharing information about Keno, about how these systems occur, what they're seeing, what they feel is important. And, that's fantastic for a company like us. Our
Mhm.
technical team is myself and Rob Duncan. While Rob's one of the smartest geos that I know, he's still only one person. We can only do so much. So to have that um, essentially 100 years of history at Keno and
Yeah.
that being shared, that's really a win for our shareholders in that it kind of helps us
Yeah.
fast track our exploration there.
So they don't look at you as a competitor, more as a complementary potential asset in the district.
Absolutely. And the whole district actually it's an interesting place to work because we have a very strong and close relationship with Banyan. For the last 2 years we've used Banyan's camp facilities to house our crews. Um, and so we're fans of each other. If Banyan's successful, that helps us. If we're successful, that helps them, even though they're a much larger market cap company than we
Mhm.
are. And obviously, if we're successful, Hecla sees the value in that long term as potential new resources for their operations at Keno Hill. So it is really an interesting and fun place to be working with a real collegial kind of supportive mix of companies at work here. So it's been a really good experience for us. And obviously, we hope that translates into more discoveries more quickly.
Yes. Well, it's a great location to be in, and it's great to hear that you have supportive majors in the area. And yeah, Hecla, obviously, one of the largest silver producers, and I believe that's the largest silver mine in Canada now.
Yeah, yeah, I think it would be, wouldn't it? Yeah,
It,
yeah, it's
it's
definitely, primary silver. So
yeah, so it's an excellent location, and it's great to see that support. So um, we'll have to, watch how things develop with the drilling season coming up. But you will be announcing, I estimate here next month or so, the drill program. You will have that put together and be updating shareholders on your uh, activities for the summer.
yeah, so we're kind of planning, we'd really hope to be drilling June 1 this year. It's just by looking at the amount of snow that the Yukon in general has received this year, I don't think that's going to be in the cards for us. I think it's probably going to push us back a few weeks. It's one of the biggest snow years in a long time. So
Oh,
we mobilized the drills into site about a month ago, 5 weeks ago, and some of the photos I got back, there's still 4 feet of snow
oh,
on the ground
geez.
there. So that's going to take a bit to melt. And for us, really, it's our road in once that snow starts to melt. You just want to make sure that road dries and firms up because if you beat it up too badly at the start of the year, you pay the price all season. So it just makes more sense for us to wait a few weeks and perhaps push it a few weeks longer on the back end because we can drill here right until December if we needed to.
Oh,
Um, Probably not the plan, but so sometime in June, start up, like I said, 2 rigs. And what will the next steps for us once we get the geophysics back from the airborne survey, take that, incorporate it into our model, see how that affects our thinking on both sort of the order or priority of drill holes, and then expanding to some of the other targets that we want to drill, just maybe fine tuning where those drill hole actual locations are. So the idea for us would be one drill at main zone, following up on that discovery pretty much the whole season, with the
Mhm.
other drill testing some of our other ideas, and then when those are not underway, it's also at the main zone, helping build on that expansion of that zone.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you so much for all the insights, Jason. I hope the success of last season continues to translate into 2026. It's been a great revival year, I think, for the silver market exploration companies, and it's great to see that the company's already having success it has had, and it's great to see that you're well funded, that you're secured. I remember in 2011, at the top of the 2009, 10, 11, when the silver market was higher, gold, silver exploration, getting a drill rig was so hard. It was expensive. There was huge delays. It was amazing how much the drilling guys were making. So
Yeah.
if it does get explosive to that point, yeah, you got to be thinking ahead and securing your drill rigs and I mean all sorts of resources. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's nice that you have that locked in now. So
Yeah, we're pretty comfortable with the where we're sitting, and I can tell you, I mean, you've been around this business long enough. It's sure a lot more fun releasing good drill results in a good silver market.
yeah, it is. Well, Jason, we're looking forward to following up. Good luck here with it in the coming weeks, and we'll look forward to the updates for the coming season.
Uh, Excellent. Thanks. Anytime.